Hey Junk Monkey friends, it is Sonia coming to you live today from Junk Monkey Paint Company here in Ligonier, Pennsylvania. What is everybody up to, right? I've been live. I haven't been painting in a few days. I've been on the road. I was sick for a bit, which if I sound like Marge Simpson, you know, like, homie, you know, I'm talking about, you know how she says that raspy voice? I didn't do a very good rendition of it, but I've been feeling like Marge Simpson the last few days and finally getting through over the hump. Matt is down though. Man down. Man down. He has gone home for the day. He is not well. But me and Kate are here in the shop and I've got a project that I need to get knocked out. So I thought I'd pop on, do it together with you guys, right? So how many of you guys saw, hey Carol, thank you for being the first to say hello, girl, right back at ya. How many of you guys, hello Sherry, yes I am that person that stops in the middle of talking and goes, hey, how you doing? But I recently did one of my Meet the Maker television shows. I hosted it with a local artist. His name is Todd Saraki. And so I went out and did a program with him for local Armstrong Cable on the fact that he's an artist and he does beautiful canvas work. He does work on the side of buildings, just a beautiful style artistry that he does, right? And so we got the idea, you know how creatives get together, next thing you know, they've got grand ideas. So anyway, me and Todd connected and we were saying to ourselves, I'm sorry, not Todd, Zach, I also know a Todd Saraki, Zach Saraki. So we got together and we're like, you know, how cool would it be to work together and do some fun pieces? And so I'm like, you know, guy, not girl, but guy, can you paint a mermaid? Because I think it would be so fun. How about we team up? And he loves the use of color and that sort of thing as well. So my job today is to paint this stand behind me, okay? And it's got to be fit for a mermaid, all right? So my job, he doesn't paint furniture, but you guys know how easy it is, right, with Junk Monkey paint. You know, grab a brush and go bananas. He could really do it if he just kind of put his mind to it. But I'm going to go ahead and paint it. And I'm going to use our milk paint today, so I'm going to walk you through that. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is a great time to hang out. So my job here is to put an all-over coverage on this. So I was thinking to myself, like, ocean, so definitely maybe like blue color, right? So I'm going to go with the ocean blue and just make it work, right? Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Hey, Randy from South Louisiana. How are you? Jackie. Who else is on here today? Let's see here. Some shout outs to you guys. Let's see. It is Friday, right? So hopefully Friday's going well for you guys. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Nancy. Another Nancy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to move over here, but hopefully you guys will be able to see everything I'm doing. You see the stand? So I got this stand. I think I paid $4 for it at a rummage sale. And when I look at it, I thought, you know, this would be the perfect stand to team up with Zach on because it's, I don't know, to me, you know how when you see certain shapes of stuff and it just kind of like screams something to you? So I thought, you know, I could totally see this being a really cool, you see how it has that kind of tiki flair, the way the legs are made? So I'm like, I could see this totally like beachy, and with the mermaid on the top, right? So I'm going to see what he does. I have some ideas for him, but maybe have him do a big old mermaid tail on here, and then we'll put that sucker up for sale and see what happens, right? So I'm excited to be able to team up with him, but also to be able to flip this piece and just, you know, just putting a solid color of blue on it. I know it's going to be beautiful. So I'm going to use our milk paint today. You guys know that we have two lines of paint, the chalky paint, and then of course we have the milk paint. You guys will say, what's the difference, Sonia, between the two? The biggest difference you're going to see right off the bat is it comes in powder form versus like the stuff on the shelves back there that's already pre-made. That's the chalky style paint, right? Grab a brush, go bananas. It's already ready to go for you guys. This actually comes in a powder form because true milk paint should come in a powder form, okay? It's all natural. I'm going to use my monkey spoons. But basically what I want to do is just do equal parts of the milk paint, equal parts of the water. And you guys know that I'm not OCD about this. I just pretty much, you know, heaping teaspoons, whatever you want to call it, okay? I usually do 4 to 5 when I first start, and I know that if I need more, I can make more. But the thing is that this milk paint that we make will actually last indefinitely. So that's the great thing about Junk Monkey milk paint. So as long as you don't get it like wet and get it activated or freeze it, then it's going to stay in great form, okay? So here's what it looks like in the jar. So I have that there. I think I did 4, right? Did I do 4 or 5? I don't know. I think maybe I did 5. This might be the 6th one. I don't know. We're yakking and talking. You know how that goes. Hey, Crystal. So then I'm going to go ahead and put some water in it, okay? The reason why I don't get OCD about it is because I can adjust whatever I need to do. You're in full control of the paint, which is pretty darn cool, right? So we've got, let's say we got 6 tablespoons in here. Now I'm going to take the same spoon, the monkey spoon. He's smiling at you. And I'm going to do the same thing with water, okay? So I leave water in these little spray bottles just to use just for this reason. And because I love it, right? When I mix when I do the Junk Monkey milk paint, I don't want any frigid water. I don't really want any hot water. I just think that gives it too much of a reaction. It like forces things to happen. Room temperature allows things to really like, you know, the pigments can disperse and do what it needs to do, right? So here's what it looks like. Pretty cool, right? Water and powder. And all we do now is take a little baby whisk, okay? These are on the Junk Monkey paint site as well, because when I first started working with milk paint, I used to stir with a spoon. I used to shake it in mason jars, all that sort of stuff. But I found that the consistency that I like best is when I use a whisk. And the reason why is I don't get bubbles into it. And I can also blend it up really well, right? So sometimes when you use a spoon, like I'm gonna get just a little bit more water because I like mine a little bit more thinner. Let's see here, let's add a little bit more water, see how that goes. So my spray bottle kind of like, you know, does double duty, right? So go get yourself one of those at the dollar store. All right, so now I'm stirring. Remember, in the first 10 minutes is when the paint sets up, but it's pretty cool because as soon as you combine it, you can start to paint with it, but just know that it will thicken in the first 10 minutes. And when you're done, and if you've done a good job of just mixing with it and getting it to the consistency that you like, you basically have in your hands the consistency of a milkshake. That's all, and that's what we call it, the milkshake, right? Pretty easy. Thank you for sharing this video. That's awesome. So what's everybody up to this Friday? What are you guys all getting into? Hopefully it's a good weekend where you are. I kind of have on my mind, I want to do some yard work this week. And anybody else? Hey, Candace from Spring Grove, PA. Listen, girl, that's exactly right. The leg that reminds you of boat paddles. This is why I think this is the perfect piece for a mermaid inspired table, right? First Mustard Pickles project, love the paint. You don't like, love the paint, hate the chip brush. Well, you kind of have to think about, like, I'm going to use a chip brush today. I love my shabby chip brush. But you kind of have to think about, is it the brush you hate or is it the effect that you got? Because I think there's a place in this world for the shabby chip brush, right? So, but it just depends on the style that you want to achieve. But for me, like when I paint with a shabby chip brush today, I love the fact that it gives me peekaboos and I'm not going to have total coverage, because I think something that's definitely fit for a mermaid would be distressed. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go with that. But if you want all over coverage, maybe use a roller, like a mini roller, or use just a brush that's really soft and flowy, and that's going to give you really good coverage. All right, guys. Oh, it is so yummy. Look, see, instant paint, right? What's really cool is if you're transporting this and you're having a paint night with girls, just bring the powder with you, and then you can mix it up when you're there. You can mix and combine the powders and stuff, which is really fun as well. So, all right, so I'm going to let that sit up right there. We'll take that out. But yeah, it's now the consistency of a milkshake. Add more water if you want it thinner. Add more powder if you want it thicker, right? So you can always make it what you want to make it. All right, but now look, I got like almost a little less than half a jar out of those few little tablespoons, right? Gayleen is on the furniture selling line, right? Sounds like you're selling lots, girl. So this piece here, I will tell you, I started to do, look at this. It's literally coming right off. Do you see this? This is the veneer that's on this piece. So it is so hungry and thirsty, but it has a shellac on the top of it, okay? So here's what you need to know when it's peeling. It's shedding, okay? It's like it's had a sunburn, okay, and it's fallen off. Because it's just probably been exposed to moisture and stuff like that. But that's okay, because we love it, right? If you could see this up close, it is like beat to death, but I love it. Remember, people pay to have their things completely beat up, distressed, to give that really old-timey feel. So if you already find a piece like it, love on it, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start painting in just a second. But what I wanted to tell you is some of it is peeling, so it does have a gloss on top of it. One thing you need to know is that with milk paint, it's completely unpredictable, okay? It is like the little monkey in the front packet. Her name is Petunia. She's doing the handstand, holding the milkshake. You guys know what I mean, right? For anybody who might be new today, this is Petunia. She's right here. Look for her. She's Crazy Monkey. And she is just unpredictable, okay? She's like a toddler. You just never know what they're gonna do. You always gotta keep your eyes on them, right? So if you love spontaneous, but also if you love chippy and pieces that crackle and do all that fun stuff, milk paint is an amazing paint to do that, because that does not happen with a chalky style paint, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm thinking that I'll get chipping because it's got a gloss, but at the same time, it's also hungry because there's parts where the gloss is off of it, right? So I'm okay with that because, quite honestly, I'm not going to put any extra bond into my Junk Monkey milk paint today. I'm just going to let's see what happens. I'm open to all the possibilities. You know what I'm saying? All right, and so with that, since I am all the way over here so you guys can see the project, Kate is behind the laptop today. Everybody say hello to Kate. But Kate, so you can shout out to me if there's any questions as I go. But I'm going to get started. Ooh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And just a quick tip, when you're using the shabby chip brush, okay? So when you're using a shabby chip brush, it's a very cheap paintbrush. Yes, there will be bristles that will fall out. So I'm going to warn you now so you don't cry later, okay, in your wheeze. So yes, but make sure that you do what I call like a little tug on the actual front of the, right here, like on the bristles. Kind of like do a tug before you start. I didn't even do that today, so I might see hairs, which is totally okay. Because at the end of the day, I'm going for distress. So I know I'm going to be using a sand block, a sandpaper, to go over the top of this. So it'll take any hairs that might fall out. But that's a way to help get rid of hairs, is if you just take the time to do that before you start, before you dip your brush, right? Who loves blue? I have been a blue lover my entire life. So we'll see what happens today. I'm loving the blue. And we're gonna know exactly what's gonna go down with this milk paint on this table, on this surface, as soon as it starts to dry. And here's the other thing. If you ever start without your bond, and the extra bond, of course, is like what I call like the muscles, you put that into your paint to help it stay put, to help Miss Petunia keep her butt on the where it needs to be. But you still can't control her, right? She does all kinds of wild stuff. But the cool thing is, if you don't add the bond on your first layer, it's not like, you know, nobody's gonna die here. All you do then is you let that top layer dry, and then you go over the second layer with a second layer, but then at that point, what you can do is add some bond, right, to your second layer.
What sand block do you recommend?
Excuse me. The one I'm using is the same one that I have on my website at junkmonkeypaint.com, but it is a medium to heavy. Like that's where I kind of like, when I distress, I like to use a medium to heavy grit sand pad, because that way it really grips, like meaning that as soon as I go ahead and, or it really like kind of tears, as soon as I go ahead and put the sand pad to it, it just falls right off, right? So my job today is to paint this in an ocean color. I'm hoping for lots of chips and crackles. That's why I'm choosing not to use the bond with it. But we shall see what happens, right? So, you know, you just never know. Just never know. Who's crazy enough to paint and be like, I'm open to whatever happens?
How can you brighten the paint? I need a bright orange, and let's use the chalky style paint.
A bright orange. Like, what kind of color? Yeah, yellow and red makes orange, absolutely. Yellow and red makes orange, and then in the milk paint we have probably the baked apple might be something that might interest you if you kind of like that color. But the cool thing is, Kate's in the background, and she's absolutely right, that if you need a color at any point, because you guys know that we have had over 40 colors for the last few years. And now as we move to a manufacturer of our paint, we've started off with our most popular paint colors, and we're adding them back up. So over the next week or so, there may just be an orange color coming back. There might just be a new color, you know. Lots of good stuff going down. And so I think we have like right around, I want to say like 8 or 9 colors coming back this next week, plus some fun new stuff, right? So stay tuned for that. But yeah, just mix your paints if you ever want a color. You guys should pick yourself up a color wheel. If you go to like a Joanne Fabrics and Michael's, a Hobby Lobby, any sort of art supply store, or you can always pull one up on your phone as well. A color wheel is really nice when you're trying to help figure out, okay, what colors make this shade that I need? Like what two colors make aqua? If you don't know right now, go ahead and search color wheel, just Google it and find it. And then from there, just save it on your phone, right? And you're able to kind of get a visual on how it works. But color wheels are awesome.
Helen asked, what is the bond?
The bond is, I'll show you what it looks like. It's on the website. It's also a non-toxic liquid that you would stir into your paint, okay, to help your paint stay put. So you don't need it for the chalky style paint. That already has Mr. Pickles on it, right? He's the monkey with the muscles. He does what he's told. He sticks to pretty much everything under the sun. And, you know, where you put it, that's where he stays. But it's the milk paint that can be peculiar, okay? It can be unpredictable, do some mighty fine stuff. And, but at any point where you want to control Miss Petunia, AKA the milkshake milk paint, just make sure you add some of the bond and it'll help it adhere. So like for example, if I wanted to add some, I would add it, I'd make sure I'm adding it to the point after I've created my paint, meaning I've mixed the powder and the water, and then I just put in a few like what I call glug glug glugs of the actual extra bond. So the extra bond is something that you don't use every time. You don't use the entire jar of when you're using it. It's something that you get and you keep in your toolbox as a painter, and you pull it out when you need it, depending on the style furniture that you're actually painting, right? So, for example, you know, if I really wanted to make sure that nothing funky is going to go down with the milk paint, or at least the best that I could control, knowing that some of this stand is very, very shiny and it can go both ways. We'll see once I dry it what starts to happen here, what it does. But it does all kinds of, it does what it wants, right? It has a mind of its own. So just use it when you need it, right? Or when you want to get a certain look. All right, knocking it out. Knocking it out.
My husband had an old metal safe with some rust on it. Which of your paints would be best to use on it?
You're gonna love if you use the chalky style paint. The chalky style paint is the stuff that stays put, right? So I use it on metal, wood, glass, fake wood, you name it. In fact, in front of my store, and last summer, you guys might have remembered, I painted a few things for my store that were actually made of metal. I used that beautiful Bahama Jade on it, and it still looks great to this day. I personally didn't seal it because, you know, it's my stuff. But if you had asked me to paint for you, I would say make sure you just put a little bit of sealer on it just to help protect it from Mother Nature. But at the end of the day, you know, just know with Mother Nature, anything you put outside, suppose it's a new house, a new car, Mother Nature wreaks havoc. So just be aware, it will also do the very same on painted furniture. So take it in the winter time, and you know, if you have it over, if there's a way to have it under like a covered area, that also helps provide a level of protection. And then sealing it, right, with a poly will also help it as well.
Julia Whalen says hello.
Aunt Julie. Hello, Aunt Julie. All right. Yeah, this table is going to have a mermaid on it. It's going to be awesome. Let me get underneath the legs real fast. So my job is basically to put some paint on it so it just don't look brownie frowny. Now, I have to tell you, I think I told you, of course I told you like 500 million times, you never know what's going to happen with the milk paint, right? So I am going to dry this now to really see what it does. But can I show you already what I'm seeing? I wouldn't see this if I used the chalky style paint, right? Let me see if I can lean you in real fast, okay? Like Elvis's microphone, we're coming in. Do you see what's already starting to happen? Can you see that? Like, what is that? It's already looking sea-like to me, right? Yeah, it's starting to already do weird, funky stuff, and it's not even dried yet. So, when you say, what's the difference between the milk paint and the chalky style paint that you guys have? Look at this. yumminess right there, right? Look at this, look, you can see the starfish back there. I can tell this is gonna work out really nice, right? So I'm gonna continue to dry it, and then let's see what happens, okay? So we'll see if it starts to chip. It's definitely doing some funky stuff right now, and I'm totally cool with it, right? Because I wanted it to be unique. So when you use a milk paint, you get finishes like this, and people go, oh, how did you get that finish? Well, it's not so much what you did, it's the paint that likes to behave or misbehave, right? And do what it wants to do. All right, I'm gonna put some heat on this and see what happens. Revlon probably did not know that we would be using their hair dryers to dry paint with, but my heat gun is MIA. Yeah, Susie, right? Let's wait and see what else happens here.
My wooden coffee table that has been,
Yep.
it has a finish on it. It's worn off in spots.
Yep.
What paint could I use? Also, can
Yep.
I paint my already painted wooden bathroom?
Already painted, you mean your vanity? Let's see if she writes back vanity, she means maybe. So yeah, so much like this piece right here had veneer on it, falling off of it, literally chipping on it. I'm gonna milk paint it, right? And let the craziness happen. So I should anticipate having some weird things happen, right? So if you're down with weird, if you keep hanging out with me and you're down with weird, that's okay, right, when you get this sort of effect. But if you're somebody's like, oh my gosh, no, I want it to like look exactly like when I put the paint down, it looks completely all over finished, then I can distress, I can get kind of like, just like a distressed edge all over coverage, maybe more like a Pottery Barn kind of look. Then use the chalky style paint, but if you're down for spontaneous action, milk paint's where it's at, man. Let me see if I can bring you in closer. Let's see here. I love what I'm seeing. Wow, guys. So I'm going to continue to let this dry. I'll take you on a up close tour of it real fast. So my goal today was to just put some color on this piece of furniture. Can you kind of even see it behind me? It's pretty darn cool. So my goal today was to put a finish on this stand that would make it feel underwater, kind of like for the mermaid, to get ready for maybe the big old mermaid tail or something across the top here. And I'm so happy that we didn't put the bond in, because it gives me this unique look, so we never know what the milk paint's going to do. And as it's drying, it's setting up. I just love, I'll show you up close, the kind of effect that as it's continuing to dry, it's going to start, because down the bottom down here it's darker because I just put the hair dryer up here, so it's going lighter. Right here, darker. Just know that when it lightens up, when it dries, the moment that you put your wax back on for a sealer or even your poly, but I tend to love using the wax, it makes that blue color pop again, right? So all I have to do, I was even thinking about, should I do 2 coats, but I don't know, what do you guys think, right? Just leave it as is. I think it's beautiful. Okay, let's come in really, really close.
You're getting a lot of questions.
Really, really close. Can you guys see that?
So,
Ooh, totally underwater, right?
he said it's his bathroom door.
Oh, your bathroom door, and you want to paint your door? Heck yeah. I would definitely use the chalky style paint. If your door already has a color on it, you could put another color, like dry brush another color on top of it and do some distressing. That would be fun. But if you want all over coverage, definitely use the chalky style paint. You will love it. You will love it. How nice is that?
Your hand over the top,
Completely smooth. It's completely smooth right here. So as it continues to dry, I'm sure that it will chip away really, really easy. But I'm going to just finish letting this dry itself, because I just love this all natural like patina it's giving me right now. Yeah, right? I just love it. So the thing is, I don't even need to distress this right yet. So here's my goal, okay? So, and this is how I would approach it too if you guys were kind of doing the same sort of thing. Paint your piece, put your design on it, and then do your overall distress and your seal, right? So it would make no sense for me right now to do any distressing on here because I want to see the placement of the mermaid tail and all that sort of stuff in place. Then that will help me better judge where I want to kind of like add some distressing. You guys know what I'm saying? So I will keep you up to speed. So I'm going to let the artist know that this is available now. You can come pick it up tomorrow, and then maybe this week we'll have it back and I'll share with you guys the big reveal of the mermaid table. What's that? Yes, crud cutter is awesome, right? Let's see. You know what, Lisa? It was definitely the finish that was on the piece before because it happened before I put the paint onto it or before I put the heat onto it. Let me turn you around here real fast and so you can take a better look. Let's see here. All right. Up. Rotate your phone. Sorry, guys. There you go. Ooh, look. How nice is that? Can you see that? But actually, it's completely flat. So this is what I'm saying. Like, milk paint is so fun because you just never know the finish you're going to get. And if you're totally cool with being spontaneous and getting like custom one-of-a-kind finishes, if I tried to replicate this on another finish of furniture, I don't even know if I could, right? But it's just the perfect combination of that milk paint hitting what was there before, which is some dry wood, some really thirsty wood, but at the same time there was also pieces of it. Remember, this is what the varnish look like falling off of it. So, like I say, if you want to do some really fun, funky finishes, the Junk Monkey milk paint is the way to go. So down here, this is going to look a little bit darker, and that is because this up here, I hit it with a dryer so far, right? But I can already start to see that when I go over here with a sand pad, you know me, can't leave it alone. Things are going to start to fall off even more, right? And then what's going to be really cool is when I seal it, this pops back to the vibrant blue again, right? Let's see, is the finish causing it to turn yellow? It's actually not yellow. This is an ocean blue color right here. What you're seeing is because I chose to use the shabby chip brush, okay? So this is why I love the shabby chip brush. It's for finishes like this, okay? When you don't want all over coverage. Because a shabby chip brush gives me these peekaboos, okay, of what was there before, okay? It helps me get that old distressed look without having to take a sand block and try to do these distress marks because they would not look natural, right? So this is why I say there's a place for your shabby chip brush, but by doing that with one coat of paint, it's going to show me a little bit that was below and what I have going down now, right? But if I wanted all over coverage, I would definitely want to use, like I say, a thicker brush, right? So yay, I love that. This is also, actually these two here behind me, actually these three here were also milk paint finishes. So just to kind of give you an idea, again, this was a milk paint finish, right? You see all that chippiness that starts to happen? That's what happens, right? This was the yellow one that we did not that long ago. Again, this is milk paint at work right here. And then we also did this one up here, which is another ocean blue. Again, you see the difference? Other than when you use completely a chalky style that sits down and behaves itself. So, real quick before I go, I do have to tell you guys because I've been getting lots and lots of questions about this, and everybody has been asking, do you guys do Mother's Day gift cards? And yes, we do, right? So all you have to do, if there's something that if you have somebody who loves the Junk Monkey and you want to do a gift this weekend, it's not too late. Just message us at junkmonkeypaint@gmail.com. Put gift card in the header. You can pick any denomination you want, and we'll set you up with an online shopping code that your loved one, your mom, whoever in your life can shop right from home in their pajamas. And we also send you a certificate as well that you can print and give to them. So just to let you know, so everybody knows. Yeah, I'm loving it. My job here is done. I'm going to continue to let it just do itself on its own. Tomorrow gets picked up. Mermaid goes on the top. Then we bring it back here to the studio. We'll distress it together. We'll seal it together and make it va-va-va-boom together. Sound good? Sound good?
Matt said, if I paint over my oak wood coffee table,
yep,
because it worn off and scratched from years of use, I was going to buy a new table. I like these looks. Would I need wax also for the door and table?
If you want to seal your piece, then you're going to want to seal with a poly or a wax. So I always say that if you don't have anything that's like really, really high traffic, go with a wax. It's so much easier to be able to use. At least our wax is the Monkey Shine, okay? So easy. It will last you project after project after project after project after project. I mean, it is a lot. You guys have seen me do live paint challenges on here where I've gone 20 days out of the same tin of paint or of wax, right? So I would definitely think about considering wax, but if there's anything high traffic, like if you feel your door is going to get a lot of use, you may want to poly that, right? So that's totally up to you. But at the same time, you don't have to seal it if you don't want to. The paint's not going to fall off. For when we're talking about the chalky style paint, the paint is not going to fall off. It's going to stay there, but it's totally up to you, right? Susie, how far away from Monroeville? If you come down, let's see, if you come down 30, there's some lights, so let's take that into effect. I'd say maybe, what, 45 minutes or so from Monroeville? Yeah, absolutely. Come down through Greensburg, Latrobe, and then you'll hit Ligonier. All right, and with that, I'm going to pop off of here. I hope you guys have a terrific Friday. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, okay, because I've got another project that I need to get done. This time for the shop, for me, for a display, and we're going to knock it out together, and it's a bigger piece. All right, see ya. Have a terrific weekend. Or I'll see you tomorrow, but still have a terrific weekend. Bye.